One of the big things that happened during the pandemic, because, everybody was at home, movie theaters were closed. It was a pain in the butt for everybody. And then I don't remember who the first company was that kind of came up with the idea, but someone came up with a brilliant idea of this concept of watch parties, where people could be at home and like watching a movie that they then watch with their friends who are out there, and they get to see the movie too. And I always thought that was just an absolutely brilliant idea for them to do, because it gave us the ability to watch movies together, to hang out together, even though we were all kind of quarantined at home while it was going on. Well, maybe in a little bit of a sign of, how we have kind of moved on, we're starting to see that go away through one of the major platforms being Twitch. The folks over at Engadget wrote about Twitch taking out the Amazon videos view party feature, saying, in Twitch's announcement, it said that the feature's usage on its platform had, quote unquote, declined over the years. Instead of thinking of ways on how to make it more appealing, the company's decided to remove it altogether and to invest its resources in other features. When I heard about this, when I read this, my first thought was, oh, well, that sucks. Like, why take this thing away? It's such a great... But then I stopped myself for a second. I thought, John, when's the last time you used the watch party feature? And the last time I used it was probably during the pandemic age and the pandemic era. So I personally had not used it much at all myself. And so the idea of it going away, while in principle seems really unfortunate, in practicality terms, though, it's really not going to affect that much. Now, listen, for anybody who is interested in it, though, and who does want to continue using something like a, watch feature, a watch party feature, watching things together feature, the good news is there are still services like, what's it called again? Teleparty, where you can literally do watch parties with Amazon Video, Hulu, HBO, Disney Plus, Netflix, YouTube, all that kind of stuff. So it's still going to be there, at least for now. But Rob, here's the thing. This is kind of like, to me, a sign of a practical, tangible sign of this. We've moved into the post-pandemic era. Services like this, which I got to tell you, I used and I thought was great during the pandemic, but I haven't really touched it since. Did you ever use the watch party? What do you think about it disappearing? Do you think services like Teleparty will continue to go on, or will they all start to disappear? How do you see it?
Well, I used it too. And I thought, John, that it was fun because, look, obviously during the pandemic, it was a way to see people, because it really did get really kind of sad.
Yes.
and it was fun. We could celebrate what we loved and hang out. And, it was like having people at your house. But I can see now that you can actually go to somebody's house, maybe it's lost its luster. But I still think, for people that don't live in the same state, I think it's just kind of maybe one of those things people forgot about doing. I mean, I have a standing call every Thursday night with some filmmaker friends of mine that have now been scattered all over the country. And I really enjoy that. And I wouldn't be able to see them in person. So having those opportunities to get online, and I mean, with watch parties, it's people from all over the world too. I think that somebody is going to fill that void at some point with something. But the thing about Amazon is it made it easy to watch movies, and, no one's going to get you for copyright strikes or anything like that. So it's kind of sad to see this go away.
Do you think that, I mean, with Twitch removing it, do you think this is going to be the first domino to fall? Do you think this is eventually going to be a feature that disappears off of all the services? Or do you think it's something that enough people find interesting that it might still stick around in some way, shape, or form?
Well, people still are getting together online every single day, in various forums, or whether you're watching somebody play a video game. So I think this is not, I think it has to be rediscovered. I think maybe people even forgot this service exists. That's why they kind of fall away. But, if there's a Barbenheimer kind of an experience that, people are getting together to have these watch parties, or somebody's got to promote this service. I think people have just forgotten it's there, or they're on to different things. But I don't think a service like this should ever totally go away. It's too bad that they're removing it, I think.
There's one guy in here who actually has kids in his house.
You read my mind. I was like, should I chime in or?
I was gonna ask, actually, Jonathan. Like, well, number one, is this something, the watch party feature is something you use, or is it something that the kids in your house use?
We haven't used it in a while, and actually, to Rob's point, once we were open to go back into the world again,
right,
we kind of just were excited about that again. But now we're kind of like, we could have a duality here. And I was going to say, for kids, and I say kids, it doesn't even have to be little kids, even teens with like no mobility, 15, 16, they don't have their license yet. They're getting on this stuff, and they're doing watch parties as they hang out with their friends, because they're always on like not TikTok, Roblox, stuff like that, and then watch parties. So this is bigger with like younger generations who don't have that mobility yet, for sure.
Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Harry's. You know, guys, in order to start the John Campea Show, I had to leave my high-paying corporate job in order to set myself up to be happier and enjoy more personal success. Because sometimes to get what you want, you have to challenge the status quo and blaze your own trail. And that's exactly what the folks at Harry's did. You see, at Harry's, they saw customers getting ripped off by questionable products in the shaving industry and decided to do something better. Harry's decided to pave their own road by making beautifully designed razors for a fraction of the price of the other big brands. Exceptional products, honest prices. That's Harry's. I have fallen in love with Harry's, from their foaming shaving gel that feels just luxurious on the skin, to their incredible razor that feels just as good in the hand as it does going over your skin. They've got rich, lathering, skin-softening body wash in scents like redwood, wildlands, and stone. You see, Harry's provides German-engineered blades made in their own factory that stay sharp longer. You can get a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, foaming shave gel, and a travel cover for just $3 at harrys.com/Campea. Don't settle for the status quo. Blaze your own trail with Harry's. Get started with a $13 trial set for just $3 at harrys.com/Campea. That's harrys.com/Campea for a $3 trial set. Well, I mean, like I was saying, guys, there are still like features out there like this teleparty thing we were just talking about. It's still out there, and it can access the Amazon One, Hulu, all that kind of stuff. I've never used it myself. Maybe some of you had, and can talk amongst yourselves about whether or not it's worth having. So the question is for you guys. What do you think about this? Twitch has decided to remove the feature, citing just the fact that nobody's using it. How many times have you guys used it? Do you know other people who use it? Do you think it would be a shame if it went away? Whatever you guys think, jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.